Hello everybody and welcome to your own channel Boli. Today I'm going to talk about my experience of case analysis and personal interview of Somaiya Institute of Management for MBA admission. And yes, before beginning and going into the video, I want to tell you that there are 3 pro tips which I've placed in this videos at different time intervals, which have always been helpful for me to crack any kind of interview, any form of interview. So I thought it would also be useful for you, and they are placed in different time intervals, so that I would recommend you to watch the full video to get the maximum use of it. And I hope this information which I'm going to share becomes useful for you. So beginning with the process, it was like we were given one slot, one link of online meet, which was Zoom meeting, and one slot was only there for both case analysis and personal interview. So it was simultaneously going on. So it's not necessary that you will get your case analysis first and then you will go for your PI. But my PI happened first and then I went for case analysis. So it can be anything. So first, beginning with the personal interview, my personal interview started with my city, that is Ahmedabad, and they asked me how was the weather at that day, like how was your morning, what did your mom cook for breakfast, what is she going to make in lunch, how is your equation with your mom, do you like cooking, do you cook. So it was very ice-breaking kind of questions, and it was very nice and cool and normal. So first thing about KJ Somaiya's interviews are, don't stress a lot. They themselves will break the ice, and they are very nice and good. But yes, that does not mean that they are super easy. So it started with Ahmedabad, and they asked me about famous food dishes of Ahmedabad and famous khakra wala to test my knowledge and all. So I would recommend you to study your city carefully, because it's the place where you live. So you should know things about that. So I would give my first pro tip here itself, that I began my interview with a broad smile. I always begin my interviews with a smile, and that instantly spread a positive vibe. It creates a positive energy, it creates a positive aura, and the interviewers who are constantly taking interviews are just not there to see your stressed or nervous face. When you smile, that also gives them a positive vibe, and they vibe with you, they connect with you, and that's the most important point, because positivity and to show that you are interested in giving answers or you are interested in taking admission at KJ Somaiya is very important. So always begin with smile and try to spread positivity. And yes, going on with my interview, they asked me some of the ministers of India, chief ministers of various states. So get your knowledge right there. And yes, I forgot to tell you that there were total 5 panel members in my personal interview. All of them were males, and only 3 of them asked me questions. So they asked me about these ministers, and then they asked me that what would you change about India if you become Prime Minister of India for one day, or what would you like to change about India which you feel that is the worst part of India. So be ready. So with your answers, I told that I would like to change the judiciary system of India, how it works, because it takes like 27 years, 30 years to solve one case, which is too long. So yes, and then there is a form that KJ Somaiya gives you to fill before CAPI, I think. So in that form you mention your strengths, your weaknesses. So be ready to answer that also. They asked me that, okay, you've mentioned this as your strengths. Can you give me 2 personal life situations or experiences where you have used these strengths? Or the second panel member, after my answer, asked me about my weakness, that how do you see, how will you learn, or how will you improve your weakness, what do you plan, how do you plan to improve this weakness in future. So know your strengths and weaknesses very well and be ready with those answers. And yes, second pro tip I would like to give is, always when they ask about tell me about yourself, be unique. Everybody starts with their educational qualifications. What is your name, how you do, what are your hobbies, what are your qualifications, achievements and all. But tell something which is the same but in a unique way. So I always begin my tell me about yourself with 3 C's define me, that is creative, competitive, communicative, and I have added more C's. So yeah, so I start there in that way, and then I'll give explanation of every C that I've mentioned, that why I am like this, and this explanation covers everything: my education qualifications, my specifications, or my achievements, or my hobbies, everything. So this is my way of giving the answer of tell me about yourself. So be unique and start it in a way uniquely that it catches their attention. Like, it's not the normal candidates who come and just give the same scripted answers. And yes, one more tip is that Never script tell me about yourself word to word. Do not try to remember what you have written because it feels very bad. It's you. They're asking about you, your own self. So just, have this in mind, key points in mind, and then just go on. Frame it on yourself, by yourself, at that moment only. So this was the pro tip 2. And yes, to continue with my interview experience, they asked me about my YouTube channel, and I drove the conversation. Full conversation was then about my YouTube channel. So it's upon you how you drive the conversation, and this is my pro tip number 3, that if it's upon you, so whatever you answer, questions come from that. So be very, very specific before answering any question, because once you answer that question, 2 more questions will come from that answer itself. So I drove the conversation fully on YouTube. Yes, it went to digital marketing, how you do the analytics of the YouTube, what you do to market your YouTube. Is only WhatsApp enough to share your videos? What do you do? How do you plan? What do you see? What type of content do you create? And everything. So that was the whole conversation that my interview was about. And then the last interviewer asked me about my hobbies, that what are your hobbies, what do you do, how do you spend your time, and then some of the questions were from that hobbies area also. And yes, what did you do during COVID? So what did you do extra? So I did one small startup, I talked about it, and they were shocked to listen to my sales and my profits. So then the conversation went on to that. So it was me who was driving the conversation basically, and I think this is very important to learn, that how you drive the conversation. So this was my PI interview. My case analysis was somewhat like this, that a man was falsely accused of sexual harassment, and there was only female-led department for this type of things. So a female accused and the man was punished, but nobody tried to really investigate the matter, even if the man continuously said that he is not at fault. So should there be any system, should the system also include male members? And if they include male members, how will the female feel comfortable to share what happened to them? So this were the type of questions. And yes, one pro tip here is that once you have decided the solution for the case, stick to it. They will try that you change your decision and you say whatever they are explaining. So I said that yes, males should be included. This is just for example. I do not really remember what did I say, but I remember that what I said, they tried to convince me to change my answer, but I did not. So once you are perfect, like once you have once you have thought about a solution and once you are confident about the solution, do not change the solution. Even if they try to counter you counter back with your logical solutions or options or answers. But do not just, okay, तुमने ये नहीं किया, okay, yes ma'am, I should have done that. पर ये तो हुआ नहीं, okay, yes, I also done. No ma'am, but this is what I thought, this is what should have been done, this is what is there. So give your own logical reasoning. And yes, this was my experience at Somaiya Institute of Management's case study and personal interview, case analysis and personal interview. I hope this video becomes useful for you, and if yes, tell me in the comment sections. And yes, if you have any more doubts regarding any interviews or any processes, text in the comment section below. I would be very happy to help. I don't know, I just stretched it to one go, I felt. But yes, I hope that I just spread some positive information in this world. And yes, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do at least take a look at it. I hope you like it. Thank you so much. I love you all. See you in the next video.